Okay, good afternoon, folks. I hope everyone is well. Speedy, good morning. Ionis, good morning to you. How you doing? Okay, so, yet again, another overnight, very little volume. In fact, there was less than overnights. Where do we open about here? So, there's half the amount of volume there was the night before. Market opened about here. So, it just seems to be getting less and less. Now, we've got September coming up next week, so hopefully a lot of the holidays will be done and dusted and things should start to get back to normal, hopefully. Because it is slow, isn't it? So, okay, I came back and traded last night, but nothing. It wasn't a very good day yesterday, was it? I took a couple of trades, had a winner and a loss. Well, I think I was down $100 per account or $90 per account, something like that. But nothing major. So channel up the break new high. So far, typical story. Does look like we're just ranging. Yesterday really was, I think, just slightly bigger range with the exception of that little push down, but pretty much we're just going sideways really. But yeah, we got September coming up just around the corner, so hopefully, the volume will start to pick up. I mean, officially, I don't know about the US, but school holidays tend to finish around about, I think kids go back to school around about the 4th of September, 4th or 5th. I know it's my daughter's 16th birthday on the 5th, so I think holidays usually are done by then, most of the time anyway, and then people are back at work then leading up to Christmas time. I can't believe I'm talking about Christmas already. It's unbelievable. Private Ryan, how you doing, mate? But yeah, we're literally just around the corner from Christmas. It really, I know I've been saying this on and off, but it doesn't seem 5 minutes since last Christmas. It really doesn't. The year's gone so quick. But there you go. That's life, isn't it? Okay, market is open. Little bit of a flutter there. So we've got this channel down with a bit of an overshoot. One attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher. Let's see what happens here. Leg up. It's hard to know what's going to go on here because so we got no news today, but haven't we got some Nvidia numbers coming out today at some point? Channel down, one attempt, second attempt. Okay, just keep an eye on this. I'm sure we got something to do with Nvidia coming out today. Bitcoin's floating around. It's just not doing a lot at the moment. We had a little bit of a drop yesterday, but it's still floating around $60,000. I'm hoping to buy a little bit if it drops. It's just hard to know what happens. Trouble is, we get one slight bit of bad news and down the thing comes. But there you go. So 8% off has been extended until, well, for a week, I think, till about the 3rd, I think. So that's good news anyway. I had a feeling they may do that. It doesn't make sense just finishing it a few days before the end of the month. But there you go. So channel down with a bit of an overshoot. Where are we going to go here? Up the top here, possibly. Yesterday, Matt talked about 1000K chart. I'd never watched Max last night for some reason. I was doing some stuff in the house yesterday and I went to bed early. I was really tired. I'll have to have a look. He said he would not trade it, but would open to check it out until he goes back to normal. Yeah, well, it makes sense. If you go down to the 1000 tick chart, that will double the volume. Well, I say double the volume, double the amount of bars anyway, really. So we did do this, if I remember rightly. I think it was about 2 years ago. There was some, I can't even remember what we did, but I know he suggested going up to the 3 or 4,000 tick chart. Volatility was a bit mad. Bars were large. It was really quick moving. So I think we went up. Pretty sure I went up from the 2,000 to the 3,000. I can't remember. I don't know if anybody remembers it. It was about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years. But I can't remember why. It was after COVID. It was all that. I have opened on my second monitor. I'll try it today. Yeah, have a look at it. Have a look at it. You definitely get more setups. I have looked at the 1,000 tick chart on and off in the past. It was after COVID, wasn't it? Yeah, I've had a look at it. We got a leg up and a leg up with a push down. Yeah, I had a look at the 1,000 tick chart once or twice. So channel down with an overshoot, 2 attempts to go higher, push through the... so this is a possible short here. My only slight concern is this NQ? We've had a channel up with a break and there's a bullish bar look in there. So I don't like the way it's bouncing here, so I don't really want to go short into that. There is a second entry long there. That might not be a bad...
Order submitted.
Break. That might now... Doji. Gonna say push up. It's gonna trap some shorts this for sure.
Order cancelled.
Or is this thing coming down? I'm not so sure at the moment. It's all right. We had this sort of overshoot. One attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher. So my thought process is penguin style. This may be coming down for another leg down. 2 attempts on another leg down. And then all of a sudden I see this on the NQ channel up with a break and a bullish bar. But that bullish bar has been trapped by the looks of things. So this isn't telling us much, this. So maybe it is going down. Looks like it. So where would I have chosen to get in there? Maybe somewhere around about there. And that would mean us getting out right at the bottom. But it's a bit early. There's not a lot of volume. Obviously, the more volume, the more sort of direction you can see. But it looks like this will probably work. Channel down. 2 attempts to go higher. Push down. But we pushed just below the EMA and then went across and dropped. So this, I'd prefer a nice strong push straight through. It would have worked for 14 ticks if I'd have got in there, but we've obviously got this as well. So going short here into this, depending whether you've got enough room. I did it. Yes, they did. Now, strangely enough, I hadn't heard anything about it. Usually we get an email. Or some of the other Facebook groups, but I just went onto the Apex website and this was 80% off, 40 on, so I'm assuming it's been extended. I did go into $150,000 account and it said $50, so I'm assuming everything's the same. But it's unusual. I usually get an email as an affiliate. I looked to buy one this morning. It was 50% off. 50%. I went to buy just to try a 50,000 eval. It was $30 odd dollars, same as yesterday. So, what size count was it you were going to buy, Jay? Yeah, try it again. Yeah, let me have a look. Let me have a look. So if I log in, yeah, it would have worked that trade anyway. So if I go into Rhythmic, let's say 50k, go through the payments. So look, tick all the boxes. Yeah. There you go. $33, 80% off, 50k. So it's the same. So I'm assuming they've just extended it. We used to get an email, which is unusual. Sometimes I'll have a look on some of the other Facebook groups. How about the 80? 5. That's a good question. I'll have to get back to you on there. It's about 3 hours ago. May have changed it. Possibly, yeah. Possibly. Well, usually when it finishes midnight Eastern time, they usually give a little bit of information as soon as it ends. But if you tried it earlier, perhaps they've just forgotten to kind of update it. So I'm assuming if they've put no real information there, they've just extended it. Perhaps they must have just extended it. Can't see any other information yet. I'll have to update you about that. So I'll just message someone who I know will know. Charlie Baker will know. Okay, so that would have worked. My only slight concern is the 2 bounces here, right at that level. And if I went short here somewhere, whether I would get that full points, but there we go. Yeah. So where would Penguin take that trade with 2 legs back below the EMA? Yeah, so usually we have 2 attempts, and usually he waits. It depends. If it's already below the EMA, then great, but normally he would wait for it to push down. So I'm guessing possibly somewhere around about there, tick above there, and get an out perfect place at the lows, which would have worked. There's 2 reasons that I didn't take it. One, the NQ, we had a channel up there and a break and a bullish bar, so I'm thinking this, to me, the NQ looks like it might be going up. So perhaps I've misjudged it. And the only other thing as well is I'm thinking, is this the bottom of a range? And depending on where I get out there or where I manage to get in, am I going to bounce off it? But it has managed to push through it. So, but I do like to, what I'll do is I just check. So if I put that somewhere around about there and just leave it, or a little bit lower, I don't think it really matters too much. It's just really for, just to sort of check it. So I'll leave that there. So if you're thinking about having a go at this or even looking at it, just for a bit of fun, just mark where you think they may take it. And then when you see Penguin's chart later, or I get his chart emailed to me, just check whether he made it. Most of the time he'll do a video, but you can see it is 1 leg up and 2 legs up. I tend to like it more when we trap a bullish bar, because as we've bounced twice, I'd like to think that nice strong bulls are likely to get trapped. So we'll see. But I think whether he'd take that, it's hard to say really. It might be a bit early. This it's quite low volume, but overshoots, usually we get a bigger correction or a reversal. Now this to me is just a correction, 2 attempts to push, and when it comes through that EMA, but yeah, there you go. You don't buy there. Yeah, see, the good thing is understanding some of these other strategies as well may help you not to get into bad trades. Do you see what I mean? So leg down. Now, you say an overshoot. It could be something like that. It's possible. There's a little 2-tiered channel maybe, but an overshoot, a lot of the time we get a correction, and that to me looks like a correction. It's also 2 legs, 2 attempts to push up, which then failed, because it came through the EMA. So usually that's where he'll get in. But obviously he'll want to get out before the lows, and that was comfortably fine before the lows. But if you're having a look at it, just start earmarking where you think these types of setups will be. And you'll see me do them anyway, and then just play. That's what I did. I used to play around with his trades for a couple of months or a few months. I've been watching him for over a year now, maybe a bit longer, because I find it interesting what he does. And what I like about the strategy is it's very similar to Mac, but there's a lot less chance of getting trapped. Now, instead of taking a short here, maybe, and riding it back to the EMA, if you took a short, it could trigger you by a tick and push up. It happens all the time. Whereas he'll wait for it to push in the direction a lot of times and then catch on a pullback. Because taking Mac's trade, most of the time, that initial push up, you're in and you're out of the trade. Whereas going for a little bit more of a move with the penguin style, a lot of times you will get a little bit of a pullback. Obviously, because we're going that little bit further. But the good thing about a pullback is it does enable you to get in on a limit order at maybe a little bit of a safe place. So that clearly worked. A tick above there. But I like the strategy because it does give you a little bit more time to think. I can see two legs and I can look at the chart, assess what's going on, and then say, okay, if it does push through, I'll catch it on the way back. So you do have time to think rather than jumping straight into a trade, triggers you, stops you out. But yeah, understanding these things as well. It's like I watched that. What's the name? The girl that trades fair value gaps, ICT or ITC, whatever it is. ICT. What's her name? Can't remember her name now. She, youngish girl, long hair and glasses. I watch her now and again, and I see some of the trades she takes, and I get why she takes them because, you know, we pull back into these sort of fair value gaps. But as a price action trader, she'll trade based on the fact that there's a gap there. I trade based on the fact of because I saw her take a trade once. We'd had two perfect legs down, and I think she took a long, and I'm thinking there's no way I'd take a long here because of the price actions telling me not to. And she took a long, it triggered her, stopped her straight out. So, you know, sometimes understanding these other strategies do help you maybe stay out of bad, stay out of bad trades. I think whatever you learn to do with the charts and trading, I think are only going to help you. Tanya Trades, that's her name, yeah. She has like a massive following, she does. I looked at a video yesterday. She had about, was it something like 20,000 views or something? Have a look. Tanya Trades, that's her. What views did she have on her yesterday's trade? But obviously, let's have a look. Yeah, she has a massive following, 23,000, 17,000, 22. But she has a really good following. But yeah, she trades ICT. It's obviously a completely different strategy from from this rather. But she trades multiple. I think she has like a 2 minute, 5 minute, and 50 minute. I don't think she trades sort of faster moving stuff like us. But I just, look at these other ways of trading because I think, the more you understand about price and how these things, I didn't realise about these fair value gaps, but it makes perfect sense. We get a gap in the market that doesn't overlap. Chances are we're going to. So it does help you understand more about how price works. Some unhappy comments about Apex on your page. Is there? Let me have a look. I wouldn't worry about him. It's funny enough, I speak to him 2 or 3 times a week. Paul Morgan, I chat to him on phone. It says trash. It's Paul Morgan. Yeah, it's Paul Morgan. I think he's just messing around more likely. Yeah, I chat with him nearly every day on Facebook. He private messaged me early hours in the morning because he's in Australia. So he might just be having a bit of a moan. I think he was doing, in fact, he messaged me a couple of days ago. He said he was doing something with Bollocks. I just think he's had a bad day, that's all. Yeah, he's all right. He has these funny moments. But yeah, he's always messaging me. We chat most days, I think. What's going on here? You know, I mean, I haven't had any problems with Apex. I've had niggles, but not, in fact, or have I had niggles? I've had little niggles, but I've never been refused a payment. Having said that, since obviously they've changed the rules, that might change things, but I've never spoke to anybody who said they traded properly and didn't get paid. So it just does sound to me like, yeah, we do, yeah. It sounds to me like if you've done something wrong. Now, don't get me wrong. When they changed the rules, a lot of my trades, when I got my first few payments, were questionable, and I got away with it. They still paid me, but I understand as a business, if people are taking, potluck and they're having a go. The only thing I don't agree with at the moment is, we were chatting about this yesterday, is sending videos in. So they have certain rules in place, and those rules, yeah, exactly. Everybody I know Wilson trades fine, he's had his payment. Sam trades fine, he's had his payment. It's inevitable as a business, if people are closing their eyes and hitting the button and going for luck, and they're getting away with it, or they're doing something they shouldn't done. It's a matter of time before these companies start to, think about what they're doing. But I think if you're trading just like we are, just perfectly normal, I don't think you've got nothing to worry about. The only thing I don't agree with is having to send videos in. You shouldn't have to do that. If you're making an average amount of money, now my average day, I suppose, really is between $100 and $200, somewhere around about there. I'm not going for massive numbers, but they have the 30% rule. That's to stop you having massive windfalls. They've stopped you, so you have to make sure you have to have a stop, so you're not taking silly risks. Let's face it, without a stop, Alpine was doing it and it worked for him, but that $2,500 drawdown, he wasn't risking that. He was only risking $85 because that was his monthly payment. So it goes without saying, if Apex are going to trade if they're going to copy you, they can't be not putting a stop. It makes perfect sense for them not to they must have a stop. So, as long as you follow these rules, you've got to trade for so many days. They've set certain parameters to say, if someone can do this, following their rules, they're a good enough trader to make a bit of money. So why do you need to explain to them how you trade? Surely they've got software to figure that out. You took the high or low. That one there. Yeah, I'm just not sure at the moment because we're kind of sideways in a bit. But it's the volume's still low. It doesn't seem to be picking up either. But yeah, I mean they know enough really to be able to work out what you're doing. Surely bars are rather large. Yeah, that ATR's up. I mean, last week or so ago, it was up around about 8 during the day, if you remember, for a period of time. But it is. Hopefully it'll drop. But I think if it is up a little bit, just reduce your contract size. Hey, Rodian, how you doing? See if I've had anything back from Paul. He'll probably be in bed now, I think. Yeah. I don't know why he's saying they're the shittiest. I don't know if he's had a problem with them or not. I don't know. Finally had a lucky break last night, and I thought I was trading 15 minutes. And I picked up a few. I've done. You know what? When was it? It was maybe about 8-10 months ago, something like that. I think I was $100 off. I think I was $100 or something like that off a payment, really close to a payment. And I was trading 10 contracts previously on an evaluation, and I didn't take it back. And it was getting towards the end of the day. There was maybe about 15, 20, 30 minutes left to the end of the day. And I wanted to hit my target so I could qualify for a payment. And it was obviously back then, maybe a year or so ago, when I was a bit more desperate. So I jumped into a trade with 10 contracts instead of one, and it went against me by $800 within a matter of about 5 seconds. And then it went almost to sleep like it does that last 15, 20 minutes. It just went nowhere. So I ended up taking an $800 loss off an account. I was about less than $100 of hitting the target. And obviously that got in my head, and that account ended up going down the drain. Interesting video from Matt. Yeah, someone else said I haven't seen it yet. But I'm glad he's talking a little bit about, because Mac is very black and white usually. Apart from that video last week he did, I've never heard him talk about adjusting things at all. But I think it's a subject that's got to be spoken about. But yeah, someone else mentioned it. I'll have a look later. I'll give me something to do later, that will. I am going through House again at the moment, the series. I'm a big fan of that show. I like to, about every 6 months I go for it. I got them in a Blu-ray box set, and about every 6 months I go through them all. So that's tend to what I do in an evening for a couple of hours, but I'll have a look later. He said 1,000, 1,500 ticks. I'm trying at the 1,250. Yeah, I have looked at the 1,000 before. I think someone said to me it's there's a lot of fake outs and stuff, but I don't know. It's all right. He's replied back to me. Yeah, you can be a bit funny, Paul, sometimes. But as I say, I chat to him 4 or 5 times a week. I'm guessing he's had a bad day. In fact, I think he said, did he say, was it last night or the night before, he was trading Bullocks overnight? He's in Australia, I think. So I think he does the overnight session. I'm guessing he's lost an account or had a bad day. I just thought for a minute I'll kick him out the Facebook group and then message him later. But I did say that people have got the right to say whatever they want, as long as it's relatively politely. So I can't really. But no, he's all right. I class him as a trading buddy. Anyways, I'm guessing he's had a bad day. Did Thomas Wade take that fail second entry short? I'll tell you now. I've got nothing from Thomas Wade as of yet. The last picture I got from Thomas was this at 4 minutes ago. So yeah, nothing. I don't think no one took it, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think anyone took it. Are you talking about this failure there? Yeah, trouble is at the moment it's going a little bit sideways, so I'm a little bit unsure of what's going on. So I kind of that's interesting. Trapping some shorts there, but how high is it going to go? Trouble is when it's choppy like this, it might look good, but it could trigger and come down. What's the NQ look like at the moment? The NQ looks like it's working down. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Look at that. You wouldn't want to go long on the NQ, would you? So, it hasn't formed anyway. In fact, there is a second entry short on the NQ. But yeah, it is a little bit congested, isn't it? So, yeah, I'm just not sure exactly what's going on at the moment, so I'm just going to sit and watch it. But there is a second entry short there, and it's confirming that channel, which is interesting. Yeah, it's working, that is. Let's have a look. So, oh yeah, you'd have been in and out of that. Oh, look at that go. I very nearly swapped over and took that. But at the moment, I'm just trading the one chart at the moment. But what I will say is it's fitting nice, and obviously it confirms that. We've got a second entry short there, and that worked beautifully very quickly. So, but yeah, see, that's the trouble getting long in one of these. I kind of like having this other chart there because they do sort of work side by side a lot of the time. So if the NQ's looking like it's coming down, chances are this will follow it. So sometimes it can keep you out of a trade, keep you out of a bad trade. In fact, yeah, we are sort of getting something slightly down. Dean, how you doing, my friend? Did you watch Matt? No, you're the third person that's mentioned that. Actually, I will watch it later. I went to bed early last night. I was just knackered. I haven't been sleeping very well lately. So I was tired. I took a bit of melatonin last night and it zonked me out. So I went to bed and slept for about a good 8 hours, which is unusual for me. Didn't someone have a big earthquake yesterday? I'm sure I noticed something on my phone popped up just before I was going to trade. Somewhere had a big earthquake. Let's trade which happened now. Let's go on the 1,000. Max said he started to look at the 1,000 tick because it has smaller bars and good setups. Isn't it weird? I remember I've multiple times I've had the 1,000 tick chart, and it was, I can't remember who it was. Was it Brandt who said you get a lot of fake outs on it or something? I can't remember. But it's weird. I do like to hear what his thoughts are sometimes because he never ever talks about adjusting size, trying anything different. And in the space of a couple of weeks, we've heard quite a few different things from interesting things. You kind of want to get into his head and see, because we think of these things and it's perfectly natural. He's told me that before in an email, but it's nice to hear him talk about it. But yeah, I agree. The 1,000 tick chart. In fact, I posted something on the Facebook group maybe 6 months ago. There was 2 pictures side by side. We had a channel up with 2-legged break and a push up. On the 2,000 tick chart, we just had a push up. On the 1,000 tick chart, we had a beautiful higher low. You're the one that sent me the 1,000 tick chart, Mark. So you're the one that's caused all the trouble. I'll be interested to watch that later. Yeah. Wanted opinion. Yeah, I like the fact that he does always apply to your comment. I like that. Guilty. So I should bloody well think so. But now it's perfectly natural to look at other ways of doing things. We're always in life, human beings, we always find ways of making things easier and better for us. It's perfectly normal. I sent Mac a message about maybe 2 years ago saying that I seem to get destroyed taking 4 ticks. So I said, what if I see a trade, what if I put a limit order 2 ticks back instead of taking it, where it should be, take a limit order 2 ticks back and go for 6 tick profit. And he said, yeah, you could do that. The only trouble is sometimes you may miss trades that may go on without you. And he said it's perfectly normal to look at new ideas. That's how traders develop. I think it just comes natural. You'll just do it. As we talked about this before, you can't sit in front of these charts every single day and not notice things. Yeah, it's definitely worth it. 100%. Some people trade a couple of these charts. Other people trade. I heard Brant mention the 4,000 tick chart once. I definitely think it's worth looking at other charts because sometimes, we may see where we've had these 2 bars there. That may turn into 3 or 4 bars with a higher low. So it's definitely worth it. In fact, I've just had an email from Penguin now. Let's just see if... Oh, no, it's just shown us the start of the chart. Nothing as yet. 4,000 is fun. You need to go for 3. Yeah, I suppose it makes sense, doesn't it? The bigger the... if you're on the 10,000 tick chart, obviously, the bars will be big. So you'd have to adjust the contract size accordingly. But I agree with the 1,000 tick chart. I have had it up here before a couple of times. I did above my head on for a period of time, maybe, 6, 8, 12 months ago. But yeah, you do. Sometimes you get 2 or 3 bars here, and that breaks down into 3 or 4 bars, or 4 or 5 bars, and sometimes you will get your higher low that you look for. So it is nice to see him talking about other things. In fact, there is. That's interesting. My only slight concern with that on the NQ is we haven't got down as far there. Excuse me a sec. Excuse me just a sec, guys. I'll just be 2 minutes. I've just got out my daughter with something. 2 minutes. Okay, sorry about that. I had to go and work the steam wand. She doesn't know how to work the steam wand on the coffee machine. And I'm a master. Right, we do seem to be working there, but it's getting a bit sideways, so let's have a look at it. Are we bouncing off this now? It's hard to say, really, isn't it? Yeah, they do. They're kind of still sort of working sideways and down a little bit, but yeah, this is a lot steeper, isn't it, at the moment? Trouble is, I'm just wondering whether this may have had a bit of a break. Depends how you draw it. May have had a break there with 2 pushes down, so this may trap some shorts. Mind you, there's a higher low there, big bullish bar, which is triggered, and this thing looks like it's after its stop. So maybe it is coming down some more. Hmm. So we may have had a little break there on that NQ. It's certainly possible. And a new low. So maybe this is going up. It's hard to say at the moment. This looks like it's going up to me. It is on the NQ. Get rid of that. This looks more sideways actually now, I think. Leg and a leg, leg and a leg. I think this is coming up. There is a possible failure there. It's not the best bar, but it is above the EMA, so I think there's a good chance this comes up, takes out that stop. Let's see if it does. That would, see if 2 points would work there. Hate it when it goes sideways like this. Low volumes, sideways. It's about 8 points from top to bottom. So if you took that, so far your stop there remains intact. The frustrating thing about this stuff, it'll trigger you, stop you out, trigger your bear bar, stop you out. Any type of trade or setup in here often just gets eaten alive. It's why you just can't trade it, really. It's quite hard to take it personal as well. Let's see if it takes that stop and then back up to that one. See, it'd be nice if the market moved purely on who bought it and who sold it. But these algorithms that run the damn things. So if you took that, trigger just stopped you out. So that's the trouble when it's like this. It just eats you up. There was a second entry there. But the trouble is, it's just like this, isn't it? You just don't know whether it's going to push up and take that out. So this NQ, leg and a leg. That one there, yeah, I did look at it. The trouble is, it is kind of working down, but now it's getting to these lows. It's kind of working sideways as well. So I'm trying. So the whole idea of me slowly moving over to Penguin is to stop trading in all this sort of stuff and wait for this clear, 2 attempts to push, and then a move. This sort of stuff, really. I think this is trading this sort of stuff with Pats is kind of what's got me into trouble. I mean, it is a second entry short. I dare say there are some traders who took it. Yeah, here's one. I think that's it, isn't it? Yeah, he took that one and it worked. But the trouble is, when it is like this, it can mess you around. But it is a second entry short, and it is coming off the tops. But it is starting to go sideways a bit, so I tend to stay out then. But yeah, trading a lot of this stuff is what can get you into trouble. Yeah, absolutely. But it's going more sideways now, isn't it? So I don't know to get rid of that or not, but. So this may be a channel with a break at a new high, and it also may. Let's leave that like that for a minute. See if it does continue on up. Blue collar textbook on the yes. Definitely why I don't let the NQ influence me. We got some video numbers coming out. Did anybody know what time? I'm sure I heard they were coming out today. Excuse me. Okay, what's going to happen here? We've got a leg and a leg up, 2 legs back and a leg up. Got a quick bounce. Now this on the NQ looks like a channel with a break in a new high. It could be a larger channel, but at the moment it's had that initial push up after a break, so I want to give that a little bit of time. So this could technically come down now, which would kind of make sense here. Channel break, new high, bearish bar, and then down some more maybe. It's just no sort of penguin stuff in this. There's not much you can do here really. Volume's low. So let's just switch on to the 1,000 tick chart and see if that's any different. Well, it's certainly choppy, that's for certain. Yeah, I don't think it really matters this. I mean, really, it's even more sideways, isn't it? Let's have a look yesterday. Yeah, I mean, when we are trending, really, I think it's better because a lot of times when you have these pullbacks, we may get better setups on 1,000 tick chart than we get the 2,000 tick chart. But when it's chopping, I don't think it really matters. See, channel break, technically new high, bearish bar. Let's see if that looks any different on the 2,000. Short here, I'd have preferred to break above there if I was going to take one. Is this thing going to continue on the NQ? It may do. Yeah, I think it is. So that's kind of looking nice now for a continuation on up. Well, whether it will or not is one thing, but it certainly could do. I'm happy that that's a wider chart now. We start from here. We've got a perfect touch here, fitting nice in there. So it could go up or it could have a break or it could come down. have a look at this NQ. See, if this is a bigger range, we've bounced off the bottom and we've had another retest, had another couple of, and got close and pushed up quite strong. So this could go up, and that would match what the NQ is looking like it's doing currently. You'll have some shorts in there, maybe some there. So this thing is looking like it's going to push up. Excuse me, sorry, I can't stop yawning now. So, channel up with a break on the NQ. So is this coming up or is it going to continue down? So hard to say. Is there something larger there? I wonder. Hey Sean, I think NVIDIA announcement will be after market close today. Excellent. So there may be something larger there on that NQ, which is interesting. I don't think there is here. So easy to get chopped up here, isn't it? I mean, you could say there's a lower high there, trapping a big bull bar, but it's just so choppy. I mean, if this is a channel, larger channel, down channel on the NQ, we've had a push down back up to the EMA. This could continue on down for another leg, which would sort of work in conjunction with this. Let's have a look here. Let's see what's happening on this NQ. So possibly a couple of traps here. Let's have a look. So there's a high and low. It hasn't triggered. Now it's triggered. Let's see if this turns into a second entry short. Leg down. One attempt to go higher. Second attempt to go higher. This could come down. So if this is a larger channel, leg down, 2 attempts push up, bearish bar, this could come down for the leg. Nothing I can do here anyway. I've traded this so many times on and off over the last few years, and it just chops you up. It really is just not worth it unless you get something an absolute beauty right at the top or bottom. Okay, that clearly worked. There's a failure there. Trapping some possible longs. Quick drop, which sent this down a little bit. Second entry short, 1k tick. Oh, did you? Saw that. Yeah. This was looking like it was about to dive. Yeah, it just still looks a bit choppy. It's kind of a sort of a Yeah, it clearly worked. This was looking promising as well, and if this was going to come down, chances are this would follow it. Gotta say, I'm not a fan of this stuff. So it's about 7.5 points from top to bottom. So if this is a channel, we've had a break. Maybe this is just pushing down and making a new low. Okay, I'm just going to take a quick 5-minute break, folks. I'm just not a fan of this stuff at the moment, this chopping around. I'm going to let it do its stuff. I'm just going to take a quick 5 minutes, make a cup of tea, and I will be back. What have I missed? So clearly looks like a downtrend on the NQ. Maybe there's something larger on here. Yeah, it's just weird. All that's missing, isn't it? It's a bit odd looking, that is. Perhaps it's just that with a break and a new low, maybe. Wow. Well, we've come down to these levels. Channel break, new low. Channel break, new low. So that looks to me like a clear overshoot. Channel break, new low. There's a higher low there, which is triggered. Looks like it's trying to come down. Whether it will or not, I don't know. Bullish bar, bullish bar. Is that going to get triggered or trapped? I need to mark it when it's like this. It's hard to figure out what the hell it's doing. Perhaps we're just hitting this level. I mean, realistically, it is just sideways, isn't it? Maybe it's just broke below there and this is going to push back in. Looks like a leg and a leg. So I'd think likely we'd more likely sort of work up to the upside. So channel break, new low, overshoot, whatever you want to call it. So this thing could go up now. I'd like to think it possibly will, just with the fact that we're bouncing, then we continue on up. It does just look like a range over the last few days. A little bit of a breakout there, but it's just pretty much going sideways. So coming off these, I think there's a good chance this thing's going to work upwards. After an overshoot, you'd probably think, well, I say an overshoot, we've had a break there, haven't we, in a new low, so you'd like to think it's more likely going to work up. This is interesting. Kind of two legs up, bearish bar on the NQ. Are we going to trigger and trap it? Would I want to go short here? Not at the moment. And if this is a channel, going short or this thing continuing down, this close to the bottom after an overshoot. Maybe it will, but I like to think it's more likely going to get trapped and this thing's going to push up a bit more. Maybe not. Okay. Well, I've got something official now, 80% off, extended through Labor Day, plus $85 for all PA lifetime fees. I thought so. So yeah, the 150, 250, 300k accounts are all $50 for the evaluations, and $85 for the lifetime PA fee on everything. So pretty much they've just extended it. Kind of seemed like they had. So yeah. So Taylor is in a short here, and he's just got paid there. Good on him. He's got this channel in one big channel. Didn't look right to me. It fits so nice in there with the break. If I extend that, it just doesn't look right to me. Now we're missing all this. I'm not saying it's wrong, but that to me looks almost perfect. Touch, 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 touch with a break. One leg down, two legs up, one leg down. So two legs down. See, it looks rangy, but you never know. This thing could just start to turn down. It's not really giving anything away at the moment. It's hard to tell exactly what sort of day it is. There's a possibility of a larger channel, maybe a leg and a leg. Who knows? It's a bit hard to read at the moment. It's a lot of chop. Yeah, I think the best addition they've got to Apex at the moment is this $85 lifetime fee. Saves you $55. It's about the best savings so far. Different colour in here. Oh, pretty yellow. Okay, so channel with a break, new low. This to me looks like something else. We've got a touch here, that little swing touch as well, and here. So this to me is probably a channel. One leg, two legs would take us down to this 610 level. And we have got some support down there, which is interesting. Yesterday's lows. So I think that is as good a target as any, and it's right where that is. So I think there's a good chance it's going to come down. Whether it does in this channel, whether it has a break first, but that is what I think is likely going to happen. Okay, I want two legs here as we're coming away from there. That unnerves me. I wouldn't be shocked if we get a break here. We will, I think. So, leg and a leg. I still like to think this is going to continue down, but after this distance from here, I think it was likely we're going to get a break. So, let's see what happens. Okay, let's have a look on this NQ. let's just zoom out here. We're kind of in the middle of no man's land down here. There may be a little spike and a channel there. So yeah, I think there may be. Wow. Okay, so what is going on today? Perhaps it's just a larger channel. I don't bloody know. It's a bit hard today. Yeah, Taylor's just put that on there. So yeah, I think it's probably as good as I've got really at the moment. So we broke yesterday's lows, which is interesting. There is a possibility we may get down here. Leg, 2 legs up and another leg, possible. Very possible. It's just not easy when it's like this. It comes back here and just dies. I mean, it came back to the top. No signal bar, just dropped. Same again, no signal bar, just dropped. 26 ticks that. Yeah. If we carry on that size, it's going to send the ATR up. Yeah, look at that. See, go down a bit sideways, big bullish bar, triggers, woof, straight down. So if you took that or that, thinking you're going to ride it back up, it just goes to show us that you just can't trade. You can't try and pick bottoms in these things. You just get crucified. So channel break, 2 little pushes up, and then down. So leg, break, leg. Let's get back up here. Whether this thing is going to continue or not, you just don't know really. I had that down there as yesterday's lows, and it smashed straight through that. We could have a leg and a leg. It's always possible. So we could come down a little bit lower. Trouble is, whenever you think you can't go down any lower, we come back in an hour and we could be down here. Yeah, Thomas has finally got that bigger chart up as well. So I think everyone's thinking the largest setup. So someone ridden it back up. How did they do? Ooh, maybe not. That's not so good. So where was their profits above that bar there? Are they going to get taken out? I think they may do. They may get away with it because we've already had a break at a new low, but sometimes they'll have a break, a push, and 2 pushes down to a new low. So 2 contracts. Let's see. They may be okay. It's just so dangerous trying to pick bottoms and tops, especially or trying to go long in a downtrend, especially one as steep as that thing. What time was this? So 3:40. So in 38 minutes, it's just dropped 35 points relatively quickly. So I'll be surprised if that doesn't get taken out. Matching low, skinnier teeth. Boom, there we go. Somebody obviously did because that had a little point and a quarter drop quickly. Yes, if you took that one, trigger just stopped you out. If you took that one, trigger just stopped you out. Mind you, if you took that one, I don't know why you went for that many points. So it went up 3 1/4 points. He had his stop above there. That's short. What was the risk there? So it wasn't a huge risk. 2 3/4 points. Still, it just, you know, you've got to pick them just right to do that. But, hey Sam, how you doing? Nothing as yet, mate. Nothing as yet. How about you? You're just trading, are you? Good on you, mate. No, not a lot yet. we've just had a lot of chop, to be fair, all this sort of stuff. And then literally the last 40 minutes we've been coming down. Nothing really here. We just pushed up and then just dropped. So you haven't missed nothing much. Good on you, mate. No, nothing at the moment. It's been a bit of a funny old day, actually. It's hard to trade this stuff. Or I find it hard anyway. No, nothing is obvious. There was a couple of people took, is it that short there, or something else? But it is just up, down, and it's. I've never had much luck with this sort of stuff, so I just tend to keep out of it. It just crushes me up. I did look at this penguin style, channel down, 2 attempts to push higher. I left it in the end because it kind of went a bit sideways there, right in that midline, so I left it, but I marked it anyway. So look what's going on here. So if you look at that NQ, we're going a bit sideways with a bearish bar there. We're right at the bottom of this big, you just can't trade that. I mean, it kind of works in that bottom tier, but I don't know about you guys. I could just never bring myself to take a trade short that in the bottom tier, that low towards the bottom. It's got to come back here, really, isn't it? Dublin, it's like my worst hangover of a lifetime in Dublin. I went to works to there about 15 years ago. We were drinking Murphy's on the boat from 11 o'clock in the morning and finished about 3 o'clock the following morning. I've never felt that ill on a boat in my life coming back. I was on my hands and knees with half the rest of the people that were on the boat. Get loads of stag parties over there, don't you? But, oh, man. I hadn't felt that ill for a long time. It's one of those lifetime hangovers that you never forget. I think once I've only been ever worse than that, but, that was horrible. I was just willing my life to end. It's a nice city, though. I mean, it's the last time I was there, about 15 years ago, but it's a nice city. You really get that sort of, kind of, just walking around it, you really kind of get that sense you're abroad. I know you kind of are in a sense, but it is just like being in another country. Obviously, you got the currencies different, but, all the cars, number plates are different. You do get that sort of European-type feel to it. I do have a couple of friends that go over there all the time. Love it. I've heard, yeah, apparently it is. It's gone up quite a lot. Everywhere else though, isn't it, I suppose? I went to Chester at the weekend. That's expensive. I think me, my daughter and my wife had a meal, just one meal with a drink. It was about 75 quid. Yeah, everything's gone up. Well, Joe, I did buy myself a nice £46 bottle of single malt when I was there. A Glenfarclas 12-year-old. I love looking around these specialty whiskey shops. I could spend a fortune in there. It was like a cigar stroke whiskey shop. No, we have been before. We took my daughter Emily there. She's coming up 16 now next week. We took her there a couple of times when she was younger. It's not bad there. It's literally 45 miles from me, so it's pretty quick. But we took the train there. We took her, my daughter and a friend of hers, and we just walked around and bickered most of the day. Spent a fortune on face creams and all that sort of stuff. But we split up in the end. I shot off, and they were just looking around that lush place with all the smelly soaps and all that sort of stuff, and clothes and face creams and makeups and all that. So I did a disappearing act. Went to the whiskey shop. I haven't. You're about the fourth person that's mentioned it today. I never watched it last night. I went to bed early, but I will watch it later. It's nice to see him coming out of his shell all of a sudden. I've never heard him talk about any type of change or adapting anything to his chart or his profit since I first started trading until last week. He actually mentioned for the first time, if you're risking like 3 points, it's just madness taking a point. It's never going to work. And I've had this discussion with loads of people over time, and a lot of people saying, "Oh, Mac does it that way. You've got to take a point." And I'm, when you see the market 98% of the time going for 2 points, it's madness to go for a point. That's my opinion, of course. And it's nice to see him. I mean, he does it that way. He's always done it, but he makes his money, I'm sure of it, on his runners. So, we've heard him say before, you really need to be trading 5 contracts before you start to implement a runner. But runners, will make you a bit of money. I'm not a fan of them myself. I see too many of them fail. You tend to hit your profit. They come back and nick you stop on your runner at break even, and then end up rocketing in that direction. So I kind of like getting in and out. If you take a runner, you've obviously got to be there at the charts to manage them, and you don't know if we're going to get any news that's going to change, or something goes wrong with the software or the internet. So I kind of like getting in and out personally. So I'm looking leg up for a push up to that EMA. Fell break out of a range. So I'm going to put that there and bring that down to there, and hopefully one leg up, second leg up to here, and then maybe look for a short, whether it works or not. Similar looking to the way the NQ is at the moment. Although I don't like all these wicks. So that's good. So we break out the bottom, push up the top.
Order submitted.
So, be careful here, because this could be kind of like a bottom. I'd like to see that big bull bar trigger. Leg and a leg. I don't want to take this. Something about it I don't like. I'd much prefer to trigger that bull bar, even a leg and a leg, and get us somewhere here, and then have something nice. But yeah, I will have a look at that later with interest. I'm going to sit down, pour myself a nice double Glenfarclas, and put my feet up and watch Mac's video later. See, just when you think this can't get down anymore, it certainly can. Trouble is, you could even say there's an overshoot. I don't think there is. But this NQ sideways, and it's starting to push up. I think it's looking to me, whenever it pushes up or down like that, very close bars, a lot of times it looks like it's sucking in longs and flushes down. So I'm kind of hoping we break above this big bullish bar on the ES and then show me something bearish. I was looking at the charts late last night. Let's just get rid of this.
Order cancelled.
When was it? It was all this. Was it this stuff I was looking at? No, this. Kind of looking like it's sort of coming. There was shorts in here, and all of a sudden it pushes up quickly. But whenever it's tight like that, I just get a horrible feeling. That's interesting. I'm going to get an order ready just in case.
Order submitted.
A leg and a leg right up to here. I think it's too late for me, really. We need to get above that, and I have a feeling it's not going to. So one leg, 2 legs. The interesting thing is the body's sat under them, but really that is I don't really want to go short there. I prefer something that big. At least a wick at the top. What's the 1000 tick chart look like? Let me just
Order cancelled.
Oh, wow. No, that does look good. Wow, that looks lovely. Leg. Yeah, it does look nice, that, doesn't it? Oh, look at that. Yeah, that looks much better. Very tempting to jump in, but I'm going to behave myself. I like the way that big bullish bar is triggered. See if we get a lower high. Yeah, that 1,000 tick chart looked very inviting, didn't it? What I like about this is price hasn't closed above that measured leg. Yeah, it does. I have a feeling that is at least going to come down to there. But you think about it, you've got quite likely there's bound to be people picking bottoms down here. There's bound to be. Let's see if we can get a second entry short or something. Well, let's recount this. What's this NQ doing? Yeah, once we get below there, it's coming down. Leg and a leg. So if I was going to get in there, yeah, it's a shame that. Locking on Taylor's chart. That's beautiful. Leg and a leg. I'm surprised he hasn't taken that. Clear 2 pushes up. Confirmation of that. I'm really surprised he hasn't taken it. Maybe will. Ah, no fill, he says. Thomas Wade's got the same bar as me. Definitely helps having a second chart. It really does. Could get on a limit order. Could get into that on a limit order. It's possible. $15.6, isn't it?
Order
Let's
submitted.
get into on a limit order. Mind you, there's a lot of support there. I might get out of this.
Order filled.
Ah. I don't like 1, 2, 3. It's kind of a triple test. It's I'm out for a tick. Better than a kick in the teeth. See, I got in that on a limit order. We didn't make our profit. It may do. My only slight issue I have is we got 1, 2, 3 bounces, a triple test. So we could get a break here. We've already having a break on the NQ. And it's going a bit sideways. So I think the sensible thing to do. I didn't have the best bar for it, really. Having said that, it was down here below the EMA. But 1, 2, 3, I'm just not a massive fan of what I'm seeing there. So yeah, it looks like we're getting a break here. I wasn't paying attention to those 3 bounces there. So good choice there, getting out that for a tick. So it's going to break above there, isn't it? Yeah, it's bound to. Bound to. Yeah, it has done. So good choice to get out of there. One of them is still running, but let's just restart. Disconnect and connect. Yeah, it kind of is 2 legs, but this stuff I'm not a fan of. 1, 2, 3, triple test. It does almost look like it's bottom in there. So whether it's something like that or something like that, what? But this NQ is starting to push up. Well, at least they got $12 times 5. So my stop would have been there. So an extra tick would have still taken me out. So it was a good choice to get back out of anyway. I mean, it is 2 legs. I didn't have the best bar for it anyway. Some did, some didn't. But let's face it, if it is a second entry short, it certainly went for 2 points, I think. Oh, comfortably. Went down for 3.5. So if you took that as a second entry short and it was a bearish bar, it certainly went down. It comfortably went for 2 points. If you got out from the bottom, you're fine. So that worked for a scalp. I was going for a little bit more personally. I actually got it on the way back up. But there you go. It is kind of 2 legs, but it's not the neatest 2 legs, is it? So it made sense to get out. So maybe we're going to go sideways. That's interesting. 1 leg. So we've had a channel break, 2 pushes to a no, 1 attempt to go higher, 2nd attempt to go higher. If this pushes strongly through this EMA, I'd say there's a chance it's going to come down. We have got a channel with a break and a new high there, so channel break, new high. This is interesting. Let's see where this
Order
finishes.
submitted.
How low can I get comfortably there? So we've had 2 legs. I need this to close below the EMA, really. Come on. It's going to go without me, this is. That's a shame. Come on. Come and get me. Come on. Oh, it's missed me by a tick. As long as it's not pushed down there, I'm okay.
Order submitted.
Okay, so if I put that there and put that there. There's a few in here. Let's have a look. Taylor's in as well. Have I got this in the right place? Let me have a look. Get rid of that. There. Let's leave it there, I think. Who else is in this? Thomas Wade's in it and Taylor's in it. And Sam's in it. So Taylor's taking his profit down about here. Probably a tick earlier than me. But that's okay as long as I'm out for the bottom.
Target filled.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Order filled.
Yes. I got an extra tick there. 150, something like that, yeah. Okay, so one leg up, two legs up, strong push below the EMA, got it on a limit order as long as I'm out for here. I got out a tick earlier, but I think the only trouble I got out with a tick earlier is because we have had a few bounces here, so you can guarantee there's going to be some support there. But that worked nice. Order filled and target filled. Yeah, I'm out, mate. I'm all out. I is all out. So it did what it was supposed to. Leg up, leg up. I got in probably a little bit late, but in fact, to be honest with you, if I bring that down to there, I'm out anyway for 13 ticks. What did I get off it? 160, so 3 1/4. Let me just have a look at this. I think it was 3 1/4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 3 1/4 points. Yeah, so that's fine. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, 3 1/4. Beautiful. Oh. So let's just ditch that. So that was it there. So channel break, new high bearish bar, took it there. It closed below the EMA. I took it back on a limit order and it pushed down. Now, I took a trade the other day. It came down and bounced there and missed me for a tick. I got out for 1 tick profit, although it did go on to break below. The only trouble is, I tell you what I can see there is a lot of support, which is why I got out a tick less. But I still got me points that I was supposed to anyway. So, so look, it's trapping that now. It's probably still going to come down, but there we go. Sometimes I don't mind missing a tick if it means I can guarantee I get out. In fact, no, I still got out for. Yeah, it still took me out for where it was anyway. I think I added at 14 ticks. I moved it to 13. So it was actually 2 legs up. Where did we go from here? Wasn't it? So leg up, and a leg up. get rid of that little thing. Okay, one leg up, second leg up. Trap in some longs, guaranteed with that push out there and these bottoming, there's going to be some longs in there. Push that down. I waited for that to clear. Now getting in there, I think it was better as it came back up. It got me in there, which is better because I like the fact that that closed, but I also wanted to be out before these very lows. So channel, we got a little channel there, break, 2 pushes to a new low, a little bit of sideways, 1 attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher, which failed. It's probably going to come down below this, but there will be some support there. We got 1, 2, 3 triple test. Bullish bar, bullish bar, bullish bar. There's quite likely going to be some people trying to pick the bottom there, but if it goes through there, it'll do it with a bit of vigour, I think. But there's one leg down, so I think there's a good chance we'll get this second leg. I think it'll do it with a bit of force if it does. So 3 1/4. 3.2. Yeah, I was up 9, wasn't I? And I got 167, so yeah, 3 1/4. ERP, how you doing, mate? Second entry long on NQ. Which one you talking? Which one? Well, how long did you put that? On about something like that, are you? It's hard to know what's going on here at the moment. This looks like it's trying to push up, but we haven't quite made a new low there, but we have made multiple attempts. So maybe it won't. I'll tell you what, the way that's come down and bounced, and it's bounced again, there's a lot of support down there. You can imagine there's a fair few stops, because after that move back, if you're going to pick a bottom and this thing's going to go up, great place to buy from, relatively small bars, and if it does work, you could do quite well out of that. NQ looking so bullish. Hey Kev, how you doing? Yeah, I mean, if this thing goes up and you buy down here, you could, you could potentially be in the money there, couldn't you? On that bullish candle, yeah. I'd still like to see this make a new low, but I think we've made 2 attempts. It may still go down, but it's going to have to get through that lot. So, Taylor took that and got out about there. So, yeah, I'll show you. So, Taylor got to the same place, 2 legs up, channel, break, new high by 1 tick and then a reversal. And Thomas did as well. Got out in that bar, got his points, and then, well, he's got it down here. Whether it'll come down that low. Sam took it as well. Good on you, mate. And he's out on his main one. He's got something else down here, so happy days. I have a feeling now it may not make another attempt to go lower. The NQ's looking quite bullish, so we've had multiple bounces there, so I think that the chances are now this might be an area where it bottoms out. We've had a break of the channel, 2 attempts to push lower, and that might be so I'm pleased with that. I got into 2 legs there, but I have noticed sometimes if you look at Thomas Wade's chart, not Thomas Wade's, Penguin's chart, sometimes this to me looked a bit vague, to be honest with you, to be 2 legs. And I notice sometimes when I see 2 legs and he takes something up here, so more of a second push. So I'm glad I got out of that in the end. You know, and I don't mind making these little mistakes because they do teach me, but I'm not far off. I was chatting to Martin about it, and he said it didn't take him long to convert over because it's very similar. So I'm glad I got out there and didn't just leave that and then made a better decision there. You can clearly see it's one push-up, second push-up. It's good stuff anyway. I mean, it's exactly really a second entry. We've got a little channel with a break, a new high buy tick, trap in a few balls here, and in reverse you'd expect to get down at the bottom. So the trades I took yesterday, one of the trades I took, let's say, good on you, Sam. Was it a day before? I can't remember. Yeah, it was the day before. The trades I took day before were clearly 2 legs up, but funnily enough, Mac marked them as well. So Mac does do these 2 legs. He does trade them, and really it is a second entry. There may be a few other bars in between, but if you forget all the little stuff, it's clearly 2 legs, and that's what a second entry is really. You know, penguin style is more just a slightly broader version of it. You wouldn't necessarily call that, well, it is a second entry, but not by the count. If it wasn't by the count, you wouldn't call it a second entry, but as in 2 clear pushes up, it is. Now, whether I'd want to go short there again after these multiple bounces, no is the answer. I've took my trade, I've made my point, so I don't want to push my luck, especially when we've had so much support there. But yeah, I do like this penguin style. I've got to say, whether it's just the fact that I'm trading less accounts now or the fact that I'm doing this penguin style, it's given me a bit more chance to think. It's definitely relaxing. I mean, these last couple of days, I've really enjoyed me trading. It hasn't felt like I say a chore. I enjoy the challenge of it, but with the stress and those emotions all the time, you kind of feel like you're on the edge of your seat a bit, but I feel so much more relaxed last couple of days. He is trading. Well, I don't know about more. He's definitely trading them both. But I think sometimes he tends to trade about 2 or 3 trades a day. So he's definitely trading them both. I think he realised a while back or a few months back that there wasn't a lot of setups. Having said that, there does seem to be a fair amount. But, you know, if I'm taking 3.5 points in a trade, 2 or 3 of them trades will give me, you know, plenty of money. I mean, if I can get 2 more trades like that in just a week, there's nearly 10 points there. There's $500. You know, you times that by 20 accounts that you could have. It's $40,000 a month, so there's more than enough money to be made. And I'm only trading on 1 contract. I think it's enough. I'm risking, say, what did I risk? 1-to-1 there, so I risked $175. I'd be risking $350, you know, if I was risking, which I think is probably a little bit too much. You know, if I'm risking $150, $175 on a trade, I've got to lose 14 trades in a row or 13 or 14 trades in a row to blow an account, which you wouldn't lose that many if you'd close your eyes and press the button. But do watch Penguin. I'm not saying don't trade Max, but do watch Penguin. It's not that difficult. It's not that different from, I say it's not that difficult. It's not that different from Max style. Very, very close. So, 2 clear attempts to push higher. Maybe that's coming down. But I've already taken my trade there with 2, so I'm staying out of this because I do know there's such a lot of support there, and there are traders protecting that area, and I don't want to battle with them. I've got my points there, so I'd rather just, you know, let it carry on. And not only that, this NQ's starting to move. I was doing a bit of dreaming last night. There's a guy I watch on YouTube who sells boats, and he takes you around them, and I was just browsing at these amazing motor yachts, and dreaming, and I see a picture pop up of what's his name, with his 19-year-old girlfriend, Leonardo DiCaprio on his $30 million yacht with his 19-year-old girlfriend. He's 49, she's 19. I'm in two minds whether to ditch trading and take up acting. Two numbers are currently priced like... The two numbers on the current prize are like footprint markers. The two numbers... Are you on about this here or this here? Are you on about the numbers close, or are you on about these two? Like these, yeah. All that is that's the current countdown for the 2,000 ticks, and that one is the previous bar. That's the current bar, 11 ticks. That and numbers the previous bar, and it looks like current prize, like footprint makers. No, it's just related to this. That's the current countdown from the 2,000 tick chart before we get a new bar. That's the previous bar in ticks. That small number there is the current bar. Tick size. Yeah. Oh, someone else taking a trade again. Oh, dear me, who's made that? Someone else has taken that mistake, I think. Soon tell you. So it's triggered by a tick. Yeah, someone else took that one. I think, to be honest with you, after that, 2 legs down, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bounces off that line, and the NQ's going up. So I think it's in its day, this, for short, in my opinion. I'm not saying it's not going to, but I'm certainly not looking for shorts at the moment. There's such a lot of support there. There's going to be buyers there, you can guarantee it, and there's going to be a bunch of stops there they're protecting. Second entry short, and a great bar, a second chart, 1350, 1555, 55. You're on about there. Yeah, I think a few people did take that. I think Taylor took that one. I did have a second chart, to be honest with you, but because I've been looking at this NQ, I replaced that. I mean, I am taking... well, look. I've had this NQ up because I was looking at trading it penguin style, but what I'll say is I took a penguin style trade the other day and I was risking $700. For one contract, that's huge. So I may replace this with a second chart, but I don't want to get rid of it if some of you guys like having it on there. So I might do a poll. Let's do a poll. I don't do many polls. Where do I get a poll from? Let's have a look. What's that? No, let's do a poll. How do I get a poll? How do I do a poll, Sam? Do you know? Got one. Okay. Start a poll. Chart for me because I trade the NQ. Okay. Let's start a poll. See how many people. So you trade the NQ as well, dear. Let's just see how many people. Ask a question. So let's say 2 ES charts. Two ES charts for yes. Or Yes. Okay, we don't often have polls. Okay, so I'm going to do a poll. 2 ES charts, select yes, or an ES and an NQ, select no. Let's see if this works. There we go, yeah. 2 ES charts, yeah. ES and an NQ, select no. I think a lot of you like. Let's have a look. 100% no. That makes it easy. Okay, let's leave it as it is. It was 100%. That's a no-brainer. 7 votes, 100%. I'll do. Let's leave it as is. It makes no real difference to me, to be honest with you. I don't need a great signal bar, really, to trade. What I need is that push through the EMA. So that signal bar is less important to me than to some of you guys. If I was trading Patsy, yeah, but I'm more moving on to the slightly bigger. Slightly bigger. I can always put another chart on something else anyway. It's, you know, keep it out of the way. So it's no problem for me. So this is definitely bottoming. This is definitely working up. I'm quite confident of that. That looks nice. We've made multiple attempts. We've had a break, and we've had one attempt to go lower, a second attempt to go lower, and clearly we can't seem to get through that area there. And in all fairness, you can see why. Bullish bar, doji, but more bullish there, bullish bar there, and a bullish bar there. So it clearly looks like it's bottoming, and it's doing this. So whether it will have another attempt to or not, who knows? But for me, for the moment, this looks like it's going up. NQ's been going up for a while anyway. So there we go. Day's gone quick today. 2 hours and 40 minutes already. Good grief. Okay, so maybe this is another attempt. I did say I wouldn't be surprised if it does. I mean, there's always a possibility it could smash straight through it, but who knows? You know something? I haven't even really noticed that. is a range. I don't really pay much attention to it, to be honest with you. So maybe it will eventually break the lows. The trouble is, this NQ can't keep going up. And this thing, I've never seen it where the NQ is rocketing up and the ES is rocketing down. They kind of all more or less follow each other. I mean, it kind of is. We got the same sort of thing. We had a sort of a channel down and then this steeper one. We had the same on the NQ. And we are going up a bit. We are on the NQ, but we seem to be doing it a little bit more prominent. So this is interesting. So I got first trade. Oh, wow, look at that. Now, I didn't take that, did I? Let me show you something. I didn't take it, but I marked it. But Penguin did. Channel down. 2 attempts to push higher. So we both marked it. So it just makes me feel like I'm batting in the right ballpark. But yeah, channel down, 2 clear pushes up. The place to take that is around about there, I think, somewhere. And then it worked. So I didn't take it, did I? I looked at it, but I thought it was just a little bit too early on in the market. But yeah, it clearly worked. So I marked it. Great, happy days. So he hasn't come to this yet. All he's got is this, I think. Let me have a look. He's got that first push down and this. No, he's here at the moment. He's marked up to here. So it'd be interesting to see if he marks that leg and a leg. I'll be surprised if he doesn't. Channel break, 2 pushes to a new low, leg up, pushes through the EMA. Whether he'll take it on the limit order or not, I don't know, but it didn't go much further. So that might be one he may take. He may even take it with a loss, because I've seen him sometimes take these trades and have his stop below the lows or very close to him. That one didn't quite get as low as I thought it might do. So be interesting to see what his opinion is there. But I think about 7 out of the last trades I've marked, he's put, so that's good. And it clearly the strategy clearly makes sense. But yeah, 2 pushes up, push down, but it's almost a max trade as well. So a lot of them they do take. Those couple I marked the other day, Matt marked them both, so he recognises just the 2 legs, even if it's not a second entry by the count. So that's interesting. Leg break, leg. Let's see if this gets stopped. Now we've had that break out the top. Often when we get one like that, we get an opposite one the other end. If we do get that, we may break through these lows. Second entry long. Yeah, it's hard to know what's going on here. This is trying to break these lows. Whether it will or not, I don't know. We've tried a few times before, but now we've had that little break at the top. Sometimes this gives it then some momentum, leg in a leg. You see all the time, it breaks out the top and does the opposite at the bottom. So, possible second entry forming on the NQ. Trouble is, depends how you look at this channel. We haven't really had an attempt to break it yet. Having said that, you've only got to adjust it slightly. If I adjust that down to there, then you could say touch, 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 break. So this may have already had a break. It doesn't need to come down. So it depends how you look at it. So second entry long, but it's below that EMA. EMA's flat. May work, may not. Would I take it? It just doesn't fill me full of confidence. It's the fact that it's flat and it's below the EMA, but it is working. Oh, excuse me. In fact, you know what? Might not even be a break. It's getting closer and closer to incorporating some of this. So oh, that actually doesn't look that bad. That would be a little bit more encouraging now it hasn't had the break. Whenever we get that first break, I'm always wary of that. Sometimes it'll trigger you and have another leg. But now that's looking like it's kind of fitting along there. And here as well. So, but depending on how you look at that, I'm surprised we haven't at least made an attempt. But it depends whether you've got that as a break or not. I didn't have it as a break, purely and simply because we've got the same on the ES. That middle section doesn't touch it, but apart from that, it's pretty close. And this is clearly obviously had a break and made multiple attempts, so I'll be surprised if this doesn't at least make an effort. It has gone quite a way, which is why I just don't like this. We've got a leg down, sideways, we could have another leg down. This is clearly going sideways at the moment, so I'm just not getting nothing out of. I'm not getting much sense out of this just at the moment. So this could come down and stop that out. Side leg, sideways leg. We often get that mirror image leg. Let's see if it holds. Excuse me. So depending on how many points you got for, you may have got something out of that, but just didn't fit. The EMA's flat. It's closed below there. That's not showing strength for me. Didn't manage to get above that lower high. But same again, we see that pattern all the time. Sideways, across, sideways, or up, across, up. I think I'm going to knock up the head now, folks. We've been here 2 hours and 50 minutes. I usually do around about 2.5 to 3 hours. I'm up nicely for the day, $167 on 5 accounts. So that's a nice stand for me. I'm happy to trade one a day. If I can get one a day, I'm more than happy. But yeah, I'm pleased Penguin marked that. Channel down, 2 clear attempts. I just need to trust myself, but I've only really just started doing this. You're welcome, mate, anytime. So yeah, if you guys are happy having that there, makes no difference to me whatsoever. But I know a lot of you guys trade NQ now, but I'm still not used to the points. I mean, I took a trade the other day and it was $700 risk on one contract. So Maybe this is... right, okay. So we are finally through that. We smashed through that. So perhaps that little break there gave us enough momentum to get through it. So, yeah, I thought that might hold there, but that just sliced straight through it. So, happy days. Nice trade for the day. I'm happy. There's the move. Yeah. Beautiful. So, look, have a great day, folks. If you're carrying on trading, best of luck. I hope you get a good setup. That's interesting. Leg and leg. We've managed to make a new low, and this is interesting now. See? 2 legs down on the NQ. Maybe we're going to push up on the NQ now. So, yeah, you may get into something there. So, there we go. A little break out the top was enough to gather in enough shorts to finally push that down with a leg and eat them up. So, it can go up now. Whether it will or not doesn't matter. You just don't know, really. It's a bit early, but it certainly could go up now anyway. So there you go, folks. I'm done. Done a nice trade today. I'm happy with that. If you're carrying on, best of luck. I hope you get a setup. Failing that, have a great evening. Stay safe. And I'll be back again tomorrow. Thursday again. Nearly another week gone. I can't believe how quick these weeks are going. I don't know about you guys. It doesn't seem 5 minutes since we were just coming back after Christmas. I was saying I had a great break at Christmas, took the whole 2 weeks off and came back really refreshed. So if you guys trade through Christmas, I'd say have Christmas off. You don't have to come back with that feeling really refreshed. That's the longest I've had off since I started trading. And I felt the world of good. So there you go. I'll leave you to it. I love you, leave you. I'll be back tomorrow and we'll do it all again. So have a great evening and we'll be back tomorrow. Bye for now.